I wanted to check out this video from Bellular because if you guys look at this particular thumbnail right here, this thing in the background, you guys can't see it because it's too small, but it's the World of Warcraft vault, which I find very interesting. I find very interesting because I've been taking dumps on the World of Warcraft vault ever since it was first announced. So like when they announced the World of Warcraft vault, you guys might remember that I was vehemently against it. I was like, this is still a stupid system. We're basically trading this stupid ass chest for a stupid ass vault, and it's still a piece of garbage. And I seem to remember that Bellular was one of the creators that was going like, oh dude, this is such a massive improvement from the chest. This is so great. And I was looking at it and I was like, dude, this vault is still a piece of dog shit. This is hot garbage. And it's like, look, there's no middle ground when it comes to the World of Warcraft vault. Your game either has free-to-play mechanics or it doesn't. It's literally that simple. Like when it comes to the vault, this is the only thing that you need to ask yourself. Does your game need to have free-to-play mechanics or not? And in the case of World of Warcraft, the answer is most clearly not. Guess why? Because you're already paying for the game, for the expansion, and for a subscription. And on top of it, probably for WoW tokens because, you know, who the fuck is going to grind gold nowadays? So you're paying for, like I said, look at this. Base game. Expansion. Subscription, WoW tokens for gold. You're paying for these four things, and on top of it, they're going to slap your game with free-to-play microtransactions. They're going to slap your game with free-to-play mechanics, and, you know, World of Warcraft fans continue to just, like, eat that shit up. I remember when I started taking dumps all over the vault, so many people came out to speak against me. So many people were just, like, saying, nah, dude, you're wrong. Vault is so much better. And it's like, listen, just because you've traded a shit sandwich that's made out of diarrhea for a shit sandwich that's made out of a polished turd, it's still a shit sandwich. You're still eating a fucking shit sandwich. It's that simple. And it's like, was the chest system real bad? Fuck yeah, it was. It was fucking terrible. Is the vault system much better? No. It's still fucking terrible. And again, I'll remind you, I'm speaking as someone who was incredibly lucky with the first couple of weeks of the vault. Like, I got upgrades on parts that I needed almost every single week that I was raiding. It was disgusting. I was so incredibly lucky with the vault. It was actually disgusting. People were mad at me. And I still think that it's a shit fucking mechanic. It's a shit fucking mechanic. It's that simple. But let's see.
We're going to do this year. So let's just go. Well,
what is this vault thing? Okay, so I keep forgetting that some people don't know how the vault actually works. So let me just very quickly pull up a screenshot, and that will allow me to kind of just like show you. Okay, so World of Warcraft vault is this thing. This is probably not accurate at this point. It's probably going to be like a different interface, but the essence of the mechanic is still here. So how does this work? You go to raid, and if you defeated 3 Castle Nathria raid bosses, which was the first raid that was in the game, you would, this spot would be filled with something. It would be an item. If you defeated 7 Castle Nathria raid bosses, this spot would open up as well. If you defeat 10, this spot opens up as well. If you complete 1 Mythic Keystone dungeon, this spot opens up. If you complete 4, this spot opens up. And if you complete 10, this spot opens up. If you then do PvP, this spot opens up. And you're like, wow, sounds like you're getting a lot of value for all these activities you're doing in the game. Wrong. The way that it works is after all of these things are revealed, you get to pick one reward. So the only thing you're really improving on is the RNG aspect of it because there's going to be multiple choices. Each of these is going to have like different item levels and shit like that. So like if you complete higher mythic keystones, then you're going to have like, higher item levels. So for instance, this one right here, considering that it's a mythic 15, it's going to be a better loot than the one over here, which is a mythic 14. And then it's also going to be better than this one, which is a mythic 13. So this one will have the best loot. This one will have something slightly worse. This one will have something slightly worse. So it's still a fucking RNG. I mean, it even looks like a fucking slot machine. If you look at it, like, no joke, like seriously, you look at the vault and check this out, right? check this out. We're just going to go for a random slot machine image. I'm trying to find something that's got like decent resolution because these are all like old ass fucking images. But yeah, whatever. I'm just going to put this in here. It's like, if you look at this, it's the same thing. Like, see these things over here? It's the same thing as these things over here. Same thing. It's a fucking slot machine, dude. It's all it is. And I railed against this when it was originally announced because here's the other interesting thing. When they introduced the vault, on top of it, they removed the chances for additional items from mythics. I remember that they reduced the amount of loot that you would get from mythic dungeons. And so many people were simping for this shit. So many people were like gargling Blizzard's nuts for this shit. They were going like, oh my God, I'm going to have more control over the loot that I can get. Like, you could tell that these people have been fucking battered and abused and beaten down by Blizzard's marketing department, but that they're just like, oh yes, just a little bit less RNG. I'm so happy. And then as they remove their RNG, they're like, and also we're giving you less loot on mythics. They're like, I don't care. If there's less RNG, I'm so happy. And it's just like, it's just fucking Stockholm syndrome at this point. Because there was so much pushback when every time that I would criticize this bullshit ass garbage system, people would come back to me, no, Rurikhan, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Okay, and now here's the video. Blizzard need to act now. Let's see what Bellular has to say.
Welcome. I'll be straight up. I think this is one of the more important videos that we're going to do this year. So,
and it was about time.
Go.
It was about fucking time you did it too, Bellular. Let's fucking go.
Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria. Over 10 years ago, a particular book was released. It is one that everyone on the Warcraft team should absolutely bloody read. It is called The Progress Principle by Amabile and Kramer. And the Great Vault violates every rule in the book, in addition to violating a lot of other basic rules of motivational psychology. The book has advice for managers on how to make staff happy and good at creative work. That's not why they should read it. They should read it because it tells us that our emotion, perception, and motivation are more important than any extrinsic reward. And it is a gateway to why the Great Vault and its like are killing the game in the name of short-term benefit. The crux of the book's research is that people are most motivated, productive, and happy when they are making progress towards meaningful work. How is this relevant to World of Warcraft, you may say? Well, the one thing that made the MMO genre special was that sense of meaningful progress that you could work for. Azeroth, let's be real, it was a better place to spend.
I would argue that the one thing that made MMOs special was the social interactions, not necessarily, and you can actually see that, like, you know, VR chat is so big nowadays. Why? VR chat is big because there's a lot of chance for social interactions. What made World of Warcraft special was not loot acquisition, despite what a lot of people may think. It was actually social interactions. But let's continue the point.
Time than school, or perhaps work. Playing it was fun, and the progress was more obvious. It follows then that a lot of Amabile's learnings on creative work also apply within the game. Instead of what the book calls inner work life, we may have an inner game life. Makes sense. I mean, come on. We've all played the game. We know how it feels to play a game, be invested in our progress, and actually care. Her research tells us how to improve this inner game life, but it also tells us what damages it and makes our game lives substantially worse. The Vault violates every rule. It must be replaced, and Blizzard must learn why. The Vault fails behavioral psychology.
If you're going to ask me why I hate the Vault, we're going to need longer than 23 minutes, Bellular. Because I can give you the answer in so many different ways. But I'll give you guys the easiest one. I hate the Vault, not because of any intrinsic psychological whatever the fuck. I hate the Vault because it's basically a free-to-play video game mechanic. It's that simple. It's a free-to-play video game mechanic. If you really look at the Vault, what the fuck is it? It's a weekly reward. For starters, it's a weekly reward. It's something that you can only do once a week. And on top of it, it's a random weekly reward. Like this literally just like screams free to play. And why do I fucking hate it? Because when you're playing World of Warcraft, you're paying for a subscription fee to get this fucking free-to-play game mechanic shoved down your throat. And on top of it, it's a bad free-to-play game mechanic because it basically ties your progression in the game to a random chance. It basically makes you more or less viable in a raid based on a fucking roll of a dice. And that fucking blows. That just straight up fucking blows. That this thing that is completely outside of your control, you can influence how many items show up on it, but you can't influence which items show up on it, so it's fucking worthless. So guess what? When I've been rating, obviously, Savage this tier in Endwalker, and every week I'm working towards a specific piece that I want to get. And when I say I'm working towards it, I might be investing like 1 hour a week, 1 hour and change a week in doing like, expert roulettes. Like that's my maintenance for raiding in Endwalker. Okay. I want every World of Warcraft player out there to really let this sink in. My mandatory maintenance for remaining relevant in raiding in Final Fantasy XIV is literally 1 hour a week. And it's not even mandatory. It's more like I really want to squeeze as much out of this as I can. It's 1 hour a week. Every other time that I log into the game, it's because I feel like playing the game and having fun. Or I'm raiding, you know? There's that. What about stealing Hollow's potions? Hey, man, that's, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Hollow's a nice guy. What can I say?
In 3 specific ways. First, making you play the game. The game tells you to finish tasks,
Forcing you to play the game.
so that you can tick a box and maybe get a reward next week. But the task itself, playing, is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Research has shown that motivation that comes externally from rewards, or as we call it, extrinsic motivation, that it can damage your desire to do the thing because you want to. And doing something because you want to, that is called your intrinsic motivation. It's an effect that is called the over-justification effect. And it can turn anything that is supposed to be fun into a chore. And there's a related principle. According to cognitive evaluation theory, we get demotivated by being manipulated. And the Vault setup is pure coercion. If you only do one mythic
We get demotivated by being manipulated? So how does copium factor into that? Because I know a whole lot of people that are suffering from that.
plus run, you have a tiny chance to get something useful, so buckle up, buckaroo. Get down to those Mythic Plus engagement mines, whether you want to or not. This is, per the book, a toxin. And these toxins are what they describe as being the key things that hurt progress and inner work. Inner work life, of course, inner game life. It directly undermines you, the player, and your effort. The second way it fails is in the randomness resulting in major bad experiences. The Great Vault, and of course the Weekly Jest before it, are repeating the exact same mistake that Titan Forging made. There is a lot of science behind rewarding people, and the Skinner box is obviously the famous example. A rat pulls a lever and it gets a reward. It's effective, but not forever, so the scientists found a way to make that rat pull that lever. RNG, or to be a bit more scientific, variable ratio reinforcement, which is giving users rewards randomly, that is, of course, used by gambling machines. By WoW loot, it's used to condition players to pull the lever more. And we know that at least in the short term, it does work. So they turned it up a notch by adding Titan forging.
Dude, I swear that the average World of Warcraft player is the perfect victim for all of those people that are exploiting other people using NFT. Where it's like they put you to grind a bunch of NFTs. Like World of Warcraft players are the perfect victims for that.
Bonus, unexpected rewards, according to a lot of the research, are actually good for motivation. So you might think, great, job done, we fixed it. But here's the problem. The problem is you. You're intelligent.
You're breathtaking.
Humans are pretty smart. So we get used to the randomness. And once players got...
Humans used to be pretty smart. Humans are not that smart anymore. I'm sorry to tell you. Humans used to be smart. We've been getting dumber every year. And that is by design because, this is a completely different topic. It's just, I shouldn't even get into it, but it's like, look, governments are basically on purpose underfunding like education programs and whatnot, and basically not valuing the education of communities. Why? Because it makes you more easy to manipulate if you're dumb. So our education is hot garbage. The governments like it that way. So no, we're not that smart anymore. We're actually getting dumber every fucking year.
Used to Titan forging, it meant that any non-upgraded item that dropped just felt like losing the dice roll. The weekly box feels exactly the same. You have a chance at a great item, but it could give you something that you do not want, wasting your entire week and all of your effort. And because the Great Vault is so bigged up in its importance as a major source of character progression, the fall, the disappointment, well, it's all the more great. This Great Vault is a little bit more complicated, and it does have more backups.
I swear to God that after playing Final Fantasy XIV, it becomes increasingly harder to look at these fucking UIs. Look at this shit. What in the actual fuck? Like, what in the actual fuck? Good God, dude. Yeah, this one, that's the best part. That's the best part, Glivers. This one's not even that bad. I know they're mods. Levin. I've played World of Warcraft. I know that they're mods. But it's just like looking at this. Like, I know that this is like the Luckthose mod, which is designed for you to optimize your rotation so that you know which buttons to press. You gotta know which buttons to press. This is bartender. This is probably details or recount. And I think recount's kind of like become irrelevant, so this is probably details. Not 1,000% sure. I'm not sure which unit frames these are because I personally used shadowed unit frames. This looks like maybe grid. No, there was a different version that was not grid. I forget what the name of it was, but I was using it as well. And then in here you have like the different same unit frames in here. There's the debuffs here. There's like this looks like some kind of cooldown counter for your abilities because it's got Serpent Sting and Master Marksman. This is the boss frame, I would assume. Guardian of the first ones, yeah, it looks like the boss frame with the debuffs that you're applying to the boss. This is Sexy Map, and they're actually cutting a portion of it. The chat is actually using Chatter add-on. So, yeah, I know they're mods. Tuck UI. Oh, so Tuck UI just has all that shit built in? Oh, no, Tuck UI you mean for the frames. Anyway, this is whatever. I use your macros for thumbsticks in Final Fantasy XIV and I can't go back. Yeah, dude. This is so good. But, yeah, let's I just thought that I looked at this UI and I'm just like, wow, I don't miss this. And here's the thing, like, say if I wanted to start playing World of Warcraft right this second, even if like I could just like snap my fingers, download the game, pay for the subscription, start playing, I would still have to spend at least 2 hours downloading add-ons, positioning my bars, because the game is literally unplayable without it.
But you can still end up with nothing useful, or something that's not as good as what you expected. Every single time we know why it's gone wrong, and it's nothing except frustrating. A system that will give you nothing useful on a progress track, on the progress track it is supposed to, after hours of work put into the game, that will make players feel genuinely awful. Now, while random reward ratios work in isolation, if you run them forward in the fullness of time, that random reward becomes expected. Blizzard added in all of this extra randomness because they thought that Valor points and Justice points were quite simply getting too boring. This was stuff they were thinking about.
I'll take boring any day of the week over fucking RNG. Give me boring, dude. Like, if boring is knowing exactly what I'm working towards, I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. Like, you want to know why I like Monster Hunter so much? I love Monster Hunter because I can specifically be like, okay, I want to craft this weapon. I need to go hunt that monster. It's that simple. It's like, here's this weapon. Here's that monster. Go get it. There's still some RNG. In the case of World, you have RNG and decorations. In the case of Rise, you have RNG and charms. But it's like a majority of your equipment you can specifically target. Like, I guarantee you, all the people that complain about, like, oh, charms RNG and deco RNG, if they came into World of Warcraft, their minds like, no, God, everything is RNG. What do you mean? Counter argument, Almudron Orb. That's not a counter argument. I still know exactly what I have to hunt. And here's the best part. I can faster get an Almudron Orb than I can get like a specific item that I might need in World of Warcraft. It's that simple.
In the eras of Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm as an impending problem that the game would have to deal with. But what happens is that just like that deterministic reward system, we expect it. We expect the Titan Forging. We expect the Great Vault. So we're back to all of the inherent downsides of a deterministic reward system. We're right back to square one with the over-justification effect being an issue in game design. But now, in addition to that core problem, we have added in all of the downsides of the player's time being wasted by those layers of randomness.
Layers of bullshit.
And that's how, in spite of all of Blizzard's efforts to make rewards in World of Warcraft more motivating, it is in fact less motivating. Now, as the book discusses, two of the key three things that actually damage the inner life are setbacks and hindrances. So let's apply them to the vault. The Great Vault not giving you the item that you need or want is going to be a major setback, and being locked out of any more progression until the next week is a hindrance. So we've done the first one, we've just done the second two. That is all three negatives, and it gets worse. The third way it fails is by not understanding the impact. If humans were spreadsheets, we would simply accept our loss and we would move on. But we're not. We are irrational. We have, for obvious evolutionary reasons, a negativity bias. And that means that our brains are hardwired to take negative information in differently to positive information. We literally feel bad things more, and we remember them for longer.
No, we don't. Not World of Warcraft players anyway.
No good roll will make up for a bad roll. That, unfortunately, is how we are hardwired. And indeed, it's a problem we feel in places other than just video games. At its core, the Great Vault is a massive negativity landmine, just waiting for players to step on it, to feel the explosion, and to never want to touch the game again. They added it.
What's taking these players so fucking long? What is taking them so fucking long? You should have stepped on that landmine like a million years ago, like I did before Shadowlands had even launched. I said that this was a shit idea. Listen, and here's the thing. A lot of people might be like, okay, Rurikhan, what's your solution? Easy. Put the loot in the fucking dungeon. Put the loot in the dungeon. You just go to the dungeon, right? You just go to the dungeon and you put the loot there. And then I do the dungeon. And when I finish the dungeon, the loot is there. Isn't that easier? It's like, instead of this convoluted fucking system where you want me to do 20 fucking dungeons to eventually unlock one chance at getting one good item, how about I just do the dungeon because it's fun? How about that? God damn. You guys don't know that. Some of you guys might not know this, by the way, but like me and Q, you guys know Queer and NL, he raids with me now in 14. Me and Q, one of our favorite things to do in World of Warcraft is fucking Mythic Plus. It's one of our favorite. We don't need the vault to motivate us to do Mythic Plus because Mythic Plus is inherently fun. Mythic Plus is inherently fun. So I don't need this weekly reward bullshit that they're giving me to do Mythic Plus. In fact, I think it'd be way more interesting if I would do the Mythic Plus, and at the end of the Mythic Plus, there's actually some good loot there. At the end of the dungeon, so your monkey brain would actually associate, hey, I did fun dungeon, I got good loot. This was fun time. Instead of that, my brain starts corroding to the point where it's like I fucking like Mythic Plus less because when I get to the end of it, sure, I did something really fun, but the game just spat in my fucking face. The game literally spits in your face when it comes time to give you loot. I swear to fucking God. It's ridiculous that World of Warcraft spits in your face when it's time to give you loot. Jesus Christ. And the worst part is that most people don't seem to fucking get it. Most people keep going back to the vaults like, oh boy, this is the week. This is the week I'm going to get my item. Oh boy, oh boy. It's like, no, it's not. It's never going to happen. You fucking idiot. You're all rats stuck in Bobby Koticks' maze.
Blizzard did to solve a bunch of gearing problems, but we say, was it worth the risk? Such as the risk of showing you this. This is our February note over on Patreon.
Go get him, Bellular.
Obviously, you might now abandon this video at this point and click off. But hey, look, shinies. And there's no great vault here. These are pretty damn deterministic, and it supports.
No. There's one thing about this. One thing that I'm going to have to point out. Watch this.
But hey, look, shiny.
Themed around what? What is this thing themed around? Think for a minute. What exactly is this item themed around? Can anybody in chat tell me? Come on, guys, give it to me. What is this item themed around? Come on. Let's go. Come on. Can nobody tell me? I'm so disappointed with you guys. It's themed around the next World of Warcraft expansion. Themed around the next World of Warcraft expansion, the Dragon Isles. It's a fucking dragon.
And there's no great vault here. These are pretty damn deterministic, and it supports things such as, oh, I don't know, how about Matt mega diving deep into the literature to further our quest of working out why you and me, when we play games, feel the way that we feel. Because I think we all know that we can get super into a game, and then maybe some things change, and suddenly, that little nugget of just, oh, I have to do this, I have to keep on playing this game, having
the little nugget of shit that they feed you every time you open the vault.
so much fun. It just falls away. That's what we're doing right now. And hey, on the Patreon, we're doing a lot of world building with what we're doing this year. You can get class cards to adorn your desk. You can get the pin and all the rest that we do over there. So thank you for the support. It's content like this that is what it allows us to do. And with that, let us return to the vault.
Is it better than nothing?
If you
No.
have a bunch of objections so far into this video, perhaps saying that the vault has been fine for you, either regularly dropping you upgrades.
Listen, if you've been saying that the vault has been fine for you, I would advise you to go see a doctor, potentially get a CAT scan, and like just fucking really look onto your life decisions, okay? If you think that this is fine, I don't think you actually like playing video games. I think you're better off just go grind at a job or something instead of like actually taking time off to play video games, because you don't like video games, okay? The stuff that you do in World of Warcraft, you could be getting paid to do those things, and it would actually be potentially more enjoyable.
Or maybe just you don't mind when it doesn't, then that is in fact completely valid. But for everyone with that positive experience, there are more who will be shafted. Blizzard
Yes.
will often think about this in terms of a bell curve, and they will think, oh, most of the people are fine. You know, the bell curve deals with them, and they're
And again, I would remind you guys, I was extremely lucky with the vault. Like, I got upgrades every fucking week, like a fucking boss. And upgrades I needed, like I think first week I got like a shield, second week I got a weapon. So I was really good. I had like some of the best gear in my guild when I was raiding in Shadowlands.
all happy. I think what Blizzard maybe does not understand is that for the people who even fall the slightest bit outside of the bell curve, they will weigh their negative experience more than their positive experiences. And it's not just because, as I have sort of been told, they are, sometimes people at Blizzard think this, they are toxic gamers. It's not because of that. Thinking that,
No, I am a toxic gamer. This is just like, you know, you can gotta call them like you see them. I am toxic. I'm also a gatekeeper, people tell me all the time. Elitist is a word that is used often to describe me as well. Toxic, elitist, gatekeeper. Yeah, that's me.
is a convenient way to not accept your own failings in understanding basic motivational psychology and how it applies to game design. You see, for everyone who cracks out their 10 Mythic Pluses each week and doesn't think about the vault, there are multiple players burning themselves out, only doing it for the vault, for that nugget of progress. World of Warcraft's
Little nugget of
next
shit.
patch might even make this problem worse, because tier gear will come in the vault, and that will be something that people will want. So if a chest piece appears in the vault that's not a bit of tier chest, well, that is going to feel like a loss. And this stuff feels bad because that's how Blizzard designed it. They may not know they did that, but it's what they did. Now, they designed the vault to solve two problems. The problem with Mythic Plus loot, and, well, the problem with engagement. As a solution to loot, it is definitely better than the weekly chest of
What's the problem with Mythic Plus loot? Like someone is yet to explain to me what the problem is with dungeons rewarding loot. It's like, oh, well, there's the danger of you getting loot too fast. Well, we wouldn't want to have too much fun now, would we? We wouldn't want to have too much fun. That would be bad for the game. You could actually, exactly like Tabino is saying, you might actually end up enjoying the fucking game. We definitely wouldn't want that. We definitely wouldn't want that. It's like, what's the problem with Mythic Plus loot? Just give people that do Mythic Plus loot. Like, why does all the loot need to come from raids? Why can't some of the loot come from Mythic Plus? It's like, no, we gotta regulate it. We gotta make sure that people only get loot when we feel like them getting loot. We can't just have these people like play the game. We can't have them play the game and enjoy themselves. Good God. It used to work. So it works for most games, doesn't it? You jump on the dungeon, you get the loot on the dungeon, you get out of the dungeon. You feel good about yourself. And you either go play the game or you take a break. But Blizzard's like, no, we can't have them take a break. So we got to keep them around. We got to keep fucking honey dicking them and then not giving them the release. That's what we got to do. We got to tease them. We got to edge them. They're edging their players, essentially, is what they're doing. It's like, we got to edge these players and keep them right on the cusp, but never actually give them the release that they so desperately want. That's what we got to do, because that's the way that we guarantee that they keep coming back until they don't.
old. You can play less and risk just getting one item, or you can play more and get a higher chance. It's a bit more fair. It's a straight upgrade. And of course, it does help raiders and PvPers out as well. When it plays nice, it acts like a choice-based backup to the existing random loot, and that is genuinely a great thing. The problem is that it's too random, and it tries to coerce people into playing, violating our earlier rules. As a solution to engagement, I don't know. Maybe it works and we're all wrong. I can certainly go off how I feel, how it made me feel, why it did the opposite of motivate me to play the game. I can think about how it impacted my entire guild, who are playing World of Warcraft less than they ever had, ever. And of course the many people who report to me the same. But ultimately, only Blizzard can look at their numbers. But if I was to look at their monthly active users, and the amount of Mythic Plus runs that are being done each week, those numbers do not look good. What we do know is that it motivates players to do content that they may not enjoy, with rewards that they may not get. And that is a psychological red flag. The Great Vault actually introduces more problems than it fixes. Thankfully, though, we have a solution.
It doesn't fix... This is how to handle
Gearing
it.
has
Okay,
always
here we
been
go.
the universal progress in WoW. And Amabil's book, it lays out how to make progress feel good. The book's full title is The Progress Principle, Using Small Wins to Ignite Joy, Engagement, and Creativity at Work. Small wins. That means consistently making little bits of progress. And the way to do that is rather obvious. Deterministic rewards on a slow but steady track of progress. Imagine a world where, instead of the Great Vault, you just have Valor points. Maybe with a seasonal cap, probably with a seasonal cap. Maybe a cap that grows based on your Mythic Plus score breakpoints, just to keep that feeling of really climbing the ladder. Perhaps you can trade in Valor for almost any dungeon item that you want. Probably around one item per week, instead of having to just wait for them to drop. That would
I like what he's putting down.
regularly give you one of the key positives that the book lays out for success: regular, meaningful progress. Blizzard could, if they wanted to, exclude trinkets, perhaps weapons, just to give the actual loot grind, the more textureful pace that I think they would want. Then you could spend less of the currency to upgrade your drops to that higher item level, like we have now, but a bit more tightly designed. Maybe let Valor points be refunded later on, because ultimately it is on a seasonal cap. All in all, this would give you an immediate reward for finishing the week's 10 dungeons, providing you reasons to continue farming dungeons if you want for more chances of loot that you can then upgrade and such, and would of course remove all the cases of terrible luck leaving you with nothing for that exact same amount of work.
I'm actually surprised. I didn't expect that his idea was going to be that good. Good job, Bellular. Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything that he's saying.
It is basically the same thing right now, but with more generous Valor, a Valor vendor, and no vault. And if this makes you feel funny, I would say, have your thoughts been corrupted by the crazy, insane loot systems Blizzard have developed over the last few years? Because in terms of what this means for you as a player, it means you actually get the same amount of loot, if not more. It means you can
It's a
more
no-brainer.
design the way that your character progresses. It means that there is a more clear output to your input. It means that the actual pace of gearing can be tightly designed. It could be designed to provide gear at a similar rate to raiding, or maybe with content-specific bonuses so neither steps on each other's toes. And the worst players could feel is maybe having to farm out a trinket. Otherwise, it would be a slow and steady race to best in slot gear. And if you are saying, but why will players continue once they're done with the week, or when they get BIS? The answer is,
Because it's fun. Because it's fun. Or if it's not fun, they don't have to continue. Because guess what? It's better to not play when you don't feel like it, and you're more likely to retain players that don't feel like they're forced to play the game, so long as when they do play the game, they have a good fucking time. It's that simple. So long as I would feel like I was having a good time when I'm actually playing the game, as you know, opposed to when I was playing Shadowlands and the game kept telling me, hey, you should go do dailies at the Maw. And I'm just like, doing dailies at the Maw is worse than pulling teeth through my ass. How about that? Is that a colorful enough description? Okay, doing dailies at the Maw is worse than someone shoving their hand up my ass all the way into my mouth with a plier and removing a teeth all the way through my asshole. That's how I feel about fucking Maw dailies, okay? So yeah, it would have been better if I was just allowed to play the game, do the things that I think are fun, and then be allowed to take a break if I don't feel like playing the game. But Blizzard's like, no, I gotta keep you hooked in here. Gotta get all my little hooks in you. Get you hooks. Get the hooks in you. Keep you playing forever. Fucking bullshit.
They can if they want to play the game. Just have some rewards for extra valor points. You could also throw in justice points as a more liberal currency that the game throws around and have other things on the vendor. Blizzard could design something quite interesting there if they really wanted to. And if those players don't want to come back, well, hey, they achieved BIS, they played around with BIS. That's it. Let them wander away. Don't force them to continue playing the game. Don't try to use coercive motivational design, coercive reward loop design, to try to get them to stay just that little bit longer. Because all that does is inspire resentment.
Yep.
And I think if you think about how a lot of players seem to feel about World of Warcraft right now, I think resentment is a very strong word, and I think a very accurate word. Also add Master Loot back. Blizzard, you said cross-faction was against a lot of players' wishes and—
Whoa. Bellular. You can't just say add Master Loot back. Holy shit. They might actually make the game good again if they keep going down that line of thought. We wouldn't want that. Holy shit. Add Master Loot back? No. How will we keep players grinding their fucking raids and perpetual disappointment? Master Loot? Ugh, crazy. What about little Timmy, who got his items ninja looted that one time 10 years ago? Huh? Did you think about little Timmy, Bellular? I don't think you thought about little Timmy, did you? Yeah, that's what I thought.
experiences. But it's okay because it's opt-in via the pre-made group finder. It's not default anywhere else, and it can be entirely avoided. So, Blizzard, do that with Master Looter. You now have absolutely no excuse not to. Limit it to guild majority groups, and make it a checkbox in the group finder. That way, almost all of your raid loot problems disappear virtually overnight, and you will be celebrated. Turn loot up a tiny little bit, maybe reward some badges from raids, just like we did in Wrath, so we can all have that same, small deterministic progress every week, and actually feel good playing your game. And just to wrap up advice from the book that perhaps WoW people should read, the other two positive forces from the book are catalysts, events that directly help, and nourishers, which are the opposite of toxins. Basically, positive influences. In the workplace, this is usually access to resources and inspiring, helpful managers and team members. Replicating that in World of Warcraft is an entirely different topic and a very interesting one. But if anyone at Blizzard is watching, number one, I suggest you figure out how to get some of that in your own company. And then number two, think about the social design of the game and how it can have more of those things. But actually, while we're talking about employees, how did Blizzard let the Great Vault happen? We need to look further into this book, but the answer lies in their priorities. The field of positive game psychology does see...
the priorities of Blizzard is extracting as much money as possible out of your fucking wallet as consistently as possible. That's their priority.
Seem to be small. There are designers paying attention to this field, but clearly few of them work at Blizzard Entertainment. What Activision and Blizzard do have, though? Well, that's data analysts. Analysts and researchers to parse their game and all of the Battle.net metrics. The amount of time...
And like I've stated, I genuinely believe that they have like psychoanalysts in Blizzard as well. Like people who actually are experts in human psyche and that can tell you just how far you can push someone before they break. And those people, by the way, they should be getting a raise because, good God, the way in which World of Warcraft is able to get people to fucking keep coming back and actually defend this game in copium-addled hazes is fucking impressive. The people that are able to push these people right before they reach the point of no return and keep them there in the most uncomfortable position imaginable, but not actually leaving the game. Good God, those guys are fucking masters of their craft.
Time you spend logged in, how many Mythic Plus runs you've done this week, and so on. That's genuinely really cool, but data does not communicate feel. Metrics don't tell you why or when a long-time fan has logged out for the last time. You can think a feature is great because lots of people are doing it, but I know a lot of people did Korthia, and all that there is now from those people is resentment. You have to train your designers in player psychology so they can understand what impact their systems will have in the short term and in the long term. And trust me, the long term is what's important. How we players feel is more important than what we do. You can easily design what we do with your reward loops. A lot of people could be going around Zereth Mortis killing lots of rares to get a rep faster. And you might see that and think, oh, those rares are great. They're really successful, just like our rares in Korthia. I think if you actually talk to players, though, you'll really find out that that's not a particularly fun system that people enjoy doing. Your data may not be telling you the truth. It's not really in the data's ability to tell you much. The data just is what it is. I think a very different lens is required when interpreting that data. And I think when that lens is used, a lot of very fundamental things become extremely obvious. We look back at the game, we reflect, and I think we can understand why motivation has truly been damaged. Okay, if you want to watch another video, over on our MMO channel, there's a similar video.
Yeah, I've actually watched the
all
similar
about the
video.
motivational psychology. It may be out by the time of this video, it may not be. But no matter what, subscribe to that channel, hit up that video. I think, as people who play MMOs, this is some of the most important stuff for us to understand. And with that, thank you for listening to this video, for watching this video.
That's a real good video.
Please share it around, maybe your guild or whatever, because I think that the word on things like this is just super important to get out there.
It's a really good video.
We're fastly realizing that this is almost the number one existential threat to the fundamental reason why so many of us play video games. And the hunt for short-term results could actually be burning through people who love RPGs. And that's just fucking sad.
Yep.
Okay. That's it for me. Have a wonderful day. I suppose if I was to say anything, game smart, be introspective, and I will see you next time.
That was pretty good. That's a pretty good video. I agree with most of what he said. It's just, yeah, I just find it interesting that now is when he finally talks about it, because I've been saying shit like this. I mean, not like this with all the psychoanalysis and all of that stuff, but I've basically been saying that the Vault is shit since it was first announced for the Shadowlands, and people gave me a bunch of crap over it. People were just like, no, Ruri, you're wrong. You know what you're talking about. Vault's going to be great. It's going to be way better than the chest. It's like, I feel like you've gotten Blizzard just keeps giving you the old treatment of like giving you something really bad, then giving you something only slightly bad, and you're just like, oh, thank God, it's so much better than the thing that was really bad. That is definitely something that Blizzard has a tendency of doing multiple times over. But yeah, it's sad.